Conditioned to conform, built to rebel. My name is Hikma Sumaila, and welcome to my app session. One of the things that I have been very careful around is a conversation about my age. I posted a video, the link to the YouTube video on my Snapchat, and I had people asking me, "You're 30? You're 30?" I'm like, yes! That was the point of the video. It's just funny and ridiculous to me because I sat in front of a camera to talk to myself in hopes that I reach people that like me, and I had people sending me private messages. I want to speak and I want to hear people's thoughts in the comments, like, am I making sense? Like, tell me I'm making sense, right? What I'm saying is making sense. Like, that's what I'm expecting. Like, when I say something that I feel is unhinged or ridiculous, somebody out there will be like, no, that makes perfect sense. And yes, like, it does make perfect sense to me, but it's because we grew up in a society where you are expected to act a certain way, so you're not even sure what you're saying makes sense to yourself. The thing is, what is the real you? Like, what is the real me? Lots of things can influence how you think, your habits, and all of that. You might be acting a certain way for a very long time and have people judge you or speak against you, so you are like, you know what, maybe let me change this about me, and then you hide that part of yourself and you conform. We've been conditioned to conform, but what about the rest of us that have always been rebels, always doing things out of the norm? I came to talk about how I want to be myself and appeal to people that understand the meaning of being themselves, embracing their authenticity, but at the same time living in a society where difference is frowned upon. As I mentioned in my previous video, I grew up with my grandma, and my grandma was a very soft person, and she instilled that trait in me. And me being a Cancer, I'm a Cancer, y'all. Yeah, soft. Yeah. Anyway, all of that compounding to growing up in a society where you can't be too loud, you can't be rude. I had issues with being rude. I had issues with saying no growing up because that's how I've been trained. I can't say no. If you send me, go and buy this for me, and I come back and there's somebody, I just go back and be like, oh, maybe if you said I want you to buy something else for me, I will go and come back, and in my brain I'll be screaming like, oh, but in my face I'll be like, okay, I'll take the money and I'll go, and I'll come back and I'll be like, oh, I forgot this, go. I'll go. Like, I will go. If it's 100 times you are sending me, I will not complain once, even though I want to so bad. So in my brain, if an adult sends you, you're supposed to go, because if you don't go, then who will go? The babies can't go, the adults themselves can't go, so you have to go. That's what I nobody told me that, but that was what I grew up with. So I could not say no, and then it affected every part of my life. I could not say no, and I think I grew up, I'm using this sending to buy something as an example because I hated it so much, but I was so good at it. Because you could send me, they were always praising me there. If you send her, she will go. She doesn't say no. Don't worry. If you send her, she will go. Like, and in my head, I'm like, no, I don't want to go. But I didn't have a choice. In my head, I didn't have a choice. And then my little cousin grew up, I had a younger cousin, and she grew up and she was saying no. Like if you send her, she will announce it. She'll be like, "I'm going once. Anybody else sends me, I'm not going." And they were scared of her. And I'm like, wait, you can say no? So it used to scare me. So I really had issues with kids that could say no. And I grew up and I realized that I was jealous. That was it. I was basically jealous. So I just found out that if you judge a character, a trait in someone, if you judge it badly, deep down, if you sit down with yourself and you do shadow work and you um think about it deep down, it's you are judging some part of yourself that is jealous of whatever they are doing. Like I realized no, I was actually really jealous of her being able to say no. Because how can you say no? I didn't know you could say no. Mind you, I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I had never seen any child say no to, being sent to get something. So when my cousin grew up and she was saying no, I was like, oh, you really can say no? I was trying to instill some of the things that I learned from my grandma into her about how it's disrespectful to say no and all of that. And she was like, no. And she was way younger than me, and she was able to, no. Mind you, she's a very shy person. So she being able to say no did something to my brain. It did something to my brain. I didn't realize it then, but it did. Now, I always say, I love little rude girls so much. If they are rude, love it. I no more have an issue towards it because I wish I was that girl. I wish I had said no so many times. I would have escaped so many issues. But people look at me and they think um I'm a headstrong girl. I presented as a rebel, even when outwardly I conformed, like I never broke any rules. At a point, I started saying no. No. No to so many things. No to how society wants you to look like. When I see when you're meant to be something and you are not, you are restless for a very long time because you're meant to be something else. And I know inwardly I was meant to be a rebel and not follow the societal norms. And when I clocked that part of me, it wasn't a conscious thing, it was subconscious. I subconsciously started doing things out of the ordinary. When you start saying no to so many things, you become so free. I started a new job when I was in Ghana, and I never once wore a dress or a skirt. Never once. And they used to ask me, like people would ask you, why don't you ever wear a skirt? Why wouldn't you ever wear a dress? They don't question it from a place of trying to understand the person they don't know. They question it from a place of thinking the other person does not know what they are doing. Right? Nobody was asking me why I don't wear a dress because they wanted to understand my personality or why I don't like wearing dress. If I was still working there, I would never wear a dress over there. Because in my brain, if they are asking me, it means they want me to wear it, and I'm not going to give them that satisfaction. But the point I'm trying to make is, society expects you to act a certain way, even though everybody chants, be yourself, be free. Social media is buzzing with people that say, just be you. Who is you? The you know is who? The you is who? Because if you say be you, be free, and then I don't wear a skirt, I don't wear a dress, and you're like, why are you not wearing a skirt? Why are you not wearing a dress? What are you telling me? Everybody expects you to conform and act a certain way. It's either A or it's either B, black or white. left or right. There's no in between. There's no there or here or there. There's no difference. There's no, everything's supposed to be. So then you ask yourself, am I being myself, or I'm being somebody that think they are being themselves based on what other people think? Why do we expect everybody to act a certain way, everybody to be the same? We put everybody in the same category and then tell them to be themselves. Who is themselves? If you ever see those videos, if you ever come across it, somebody shares it with you, whatever, I want you to think of what I am saying and think of it very well, because this conversation has been one conversation that I've had with myself so many times. Who am I? Because if you come from a society that constantly tells you to do this or do that or do it this way and do it that way, like you can't even cook on the internet without someone else telling you, oh, that's too much oil, oh, that's too much spice, that's too much seasoning, that's too much salt. Like, bro, everybody has